Good evening. We continue to follow the breaking news out of downtown Dallas tonight. 3 workers are dead after a fire at Thanksgiving Tower.
That fire began shortly after 10 this morning in an equipment room of the parking garage. About 2,800 people in the building were evacuated. The 3 workers who died were working in a tank when that fire started. First tonight here at 6. Melissa Cutler has been outside that Thanksgiving Tower all day. Melissa.
Yeah, Heather, you know, it's all quiet. The scene is quite dark here. It's clear. The building will stay closed until tomorrow. Looks nothing out of the ordinary happened here, but it was a very different scene earlier today. 3 subcontractors with a company called Best Mechanical were inside what's been described to us as a thermal storage tank. It's about 35 feet down in the ground when somehow a fire broke out. At first, firefighters thought this might have been some sort of electrical fire. They thought it might have been a car fire, but they don't think that anymore. The storage tank is part of an AC system. Pretty much all we know about that. The smoke caused poor visibility for firefighters, kept them away from the source of that fire at first, so it was almost impossible to actually get in there and fight it. That's why they had trouble getting to these folks.
Our investigators are in the process of looking into everything, getting statements, looking at evidence to come up with a definitive cause.
They were working on the thermal storage tank that is part of the HVAC system at Thanksgiving Tower. That's all we know at this point.
Several waves of family members came here to the scene. They headed down to the garage once they found out. Very upsetting for them. Then the difficult task earlier today was trying to evacuate that 2,800 people that you mentioned. This was an emergency. How do you get them all out safely? How do you keep them calm? Well, some workers told us that the smoke made it all the way up to the 40th floor. Many of them held hands. They were helping each other walk down dozens of flights. One woman that I talked to got a little teary-eyed because she said this all brought out the best in people.
Quite a bit of chemical smell, the smoke coming out, so it's a pretty good little fire down there, we think.
We were all kind of panicking or whatever, and I have this pregnant girl behind me who's like about to have twins, and she's like going in like having contractions, thinking she's about to have the babies because of all the, all the stairwells. So I'm really glad that we all made it out.
3 people were sent to local hospitals for smoke inhalation. One other gentleman couldn't breathe, so he had to use some oxygen on the scene. Workers were told had received adequate training. They were using safety equipment at the time. DFR says they don't know if mistakes were made or not. They don't know whether, what they were working on could have caused the fire. That's all part of the investigation. They're being kind of tight-lipped about that now, Heather, till they find out more information. That's going to take a little bit of time.